Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Welcome back to Rappin' Wrestling. There's a lot to talk about after just watching Smackdown yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. And if you haven't, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We just hit over 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year and get this whole channel monetized so we can get all kinds of things going here on this channel. But let's get right into it. Smackdown yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. So first thing I want to talk about is, not sure if you knew this or not, but Drew McIntyre yesterday had to get his knee drained right before going out there and being the first segment on SmackDown. So, for those who don't know what that means, I'll show a quick clip of it. And it's very, it's not gruesome, but it's something to, just to kind of like think about, like for your stomach. Drew went out there and got his knee drained, went out there and battled Jimmy Uso for about 10 minutes or so, and then went backstage. And so shout out to Drew McIntyre for being a soldier and going out there and putting one on for the team, putting one on for the company, and then going right backstage too. So like I said earlier in previous videos, I thought that Drew McIntyre was my MVP for 2024. I fuck with Drew McIntyre, like on and off camera. I think that off camera he's a super cool dude, and on camera he's been putting in some of his best work. So for him to be working injured like that and getting his knee drained before going out there and having a match, having a great match, and then all of this during WrestleMania season, shout out to Drew McIntyre. I fucking salute you, my brother. But he had to get his knee drained before that. Not sure if you guys knew that. Obviously wrestling is scripted. I'm not going to say that it's fake because it's not. Wrestling is scripted, so sometimes people do get injured. So one time for Drew for going out there and doing that. Second thing I want to talk about, of course, here on the menu is R-Truth. R-Truth is fucking hilarious, and here's why. Like yesterday, he had a tag match against Miz and Carmelo Hayes yesterday, and the entire night he did not have a partner. He said he was going to have a Louisiana Great as his tag team partner that night. Lo and behold, R-Truth get out there and says his tag team partner is none other than Louisiana Knight, aka LA Knight. So when I first saw that, I bust out laughing because it's like, dog, of course, this is comedic genius. But when he first said that, I'm like, who is he going to get to, like what's his angle here? Like, what is he trying to pull? Obviously, R-Truth is silly as hell, and he's been in the company for a while, and he's a gem. But it was funny to kind of see that him team up with LA Knight come out, whatever. They came out with the the Mardi Gras bees and everything, with SmackDown being in New Orleans yesterday. So shout out to R-Truth, man, still being a national gem and a national treasure, or as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, a global icon and national treasure in R-Truth. So keep that shit going. Don't ever change R-Truth. After that, of course, we saw that we saw Solo arrive. And he had a quick little conversation there with him and Jacob. We'll get into that a little bit after, going further into the episode here. What I want to talk about is Tiffy, Trish, Nia, Candice, and Charlotte yesterday with that whole segment. So of course, there was a tag team match yesterday. There was a match yesterday rather with Nia Jax, I think, against Tiffany, or not, was Tiffany Stratton? I forgot who she was facing. Because these things just, I watch so much wrestling. But anyway, in the match and after the match is more so what I want to talk about. After the match, we saw that Nia Jax safely squashed Tiffy and Trish together. She came down very safe. Shout out to Nia Jax for being very safe with the women yesterday, because she had quite the opposite reputation not too long ago. That segment, and I'm not putting this against the women and Charlotte and shit. It's just that, well, it felt kind of flat to me, only because I feel like Charlotte needs to start getting involved physically with some of these things versus just getting in a ring and an outfit and pointing or sitting in a chair and things like that. I think the fans kind of want to see Charlotte get more engaged in it. Now, granted, I understand that this is just the beginning of the road to WrestleMania. We still got Elimination Chamber to come and all that kind of stuff too. I understand that, but with Charlotte being back the past 2+ weeks, I want to see her truly start to get involved with some of these storylines. She did come out on commentary yesterday and have her word about what's going on in the women's division and things, saying that she was the top woman, all that kind of stuff too. But let's start seeing her, let's get that true heel Charlotte in there, because obviously that she's going to be heel. Let's start getting that in there for her, so that way we can get her into the swing of things. Next I want to talk about The Rock and Cody. That segment, I think it broke the internet for multiple reasons, and it was unexpected. We didn't know that The Rock was going to be on SmackDown literally until 24 hours before, when he announced on Instagram. So that segment yesterday, a surprise. and I say that for multiple reasons. It was definitely a surprise segment. It was good to see both of those two be back in the ring together. I believe the last time they saw each other was at the Raw on Netflix, where Rock came out and did his shtick, and they came backstage and they were drinking Terramana, as The Rock mentioned before. Now, when I first saw this segment, and I think we all know what we're talking about here, I'm going to talk about it in a second, but when I first saw this, I'm like, okay, yeah, Rock, cool, you know, you're talking da-da-da-da. I'm thinking maybe it's going to be a WrestleMania match he's setting up with Roman. Like, you know, that's the common thinking that I think most of us had there. But for him to come out and swing everybody and be like, yeah, you know, Cody, this and this, our moms are friends and we're friends and all that stuff. And then he tells Cody to come out. He goes, yeah, and he starts rambling. And so, like, as someone who's been following The Rock literally his entire WWE career, he started rambling. And I feel like he didn't come out there with much of a script initially. Like, he kind of probably know what he wanted to say, but he started rambling, knowing that he did repeat himself a little bit. And I'm like, all right, bro, like, I can probably sense some of the cameramen were probably looking like, all right, bro, like, come on, get your point. And he eventually come out and said, Cody,
I want your soul.
I want your soul? I want your soul? Like, what the fuck? When I first saw this, I was like, all right, this is cringe as shit. Because last time, like a couple times ago, actually, when they saw each other after Mania, they holding belts and you can hold mine if you let me hold yours. Shit got hella weird. Hella weird. Very much so with this segment yesterday too. Rock talking about some, I want your soul. I want you to be my champion. So my initial reaction to all this shit is like, all right, bro, this motherfucker weird as hell, man. Like, he didn't have a plan because he was already rambling. Like, where is this going? It kind of reminded me of when he came out there in Bad Blood and did the, like, what is that? Like, you throwing up blood? What's going on? But now, hindsight, looking into it after having some time to sit on it and think about what The Rock said and think about how the landscape of WWE is, I think it's very similar to when Rock had turned corporate back in his time and he became the people's champion, or he became the corporate champion before becoming the people's champion. Now, in this case, in my channel, I've been talking about Homelander heel Cody Rhodes coming for the longest. And so now, I think after actually sleeping on it, after listening to what Dwayne, The Rock, Douglas Johnson Bowles finally said yesterday, I think that he's opening that door for heel Coldlander to come through. And he said he's going to meet him at Elimination Chamber in Toronto in a week or so, just to kind of see what his decision will be. He said, Cody, I want you to be my champion. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in Toronto. So, again, like I said initially, I'm like, this shit is weird. But this might turn out to be some of the best shit, because we get that heel Cody is going to open the door for so many different feuds, because now Cody's competing as a heel and he gets to face other faces, along with seeing that he just faced all the heels this year. So now he gets to switch and be Cody, and I'm sorry, be heel Cody, and he gets to become that corporate guy and get the people to turn him on a little bit, because it was getting kind of stale with Cody being champion as face, going around kissing babies and all that kind of stuff and doing that weird walk to the ring and shit. Does anyone else think Cody walks weird to the ring? Nothing against Cody Rhodes, I just think he's always like side to side and shit. But yeah, so now with Rock coming out telling Cody he wants his soul, which is very interesting, I think that it sets up that door to be open for Cody to turn heel. Now, if Cody does face Cena at WrestleMania and, you know, they have that match or whatever, again, is it going to be super face versus super face, as I said on our last episode? Because somebody has to become heel. I think Rock is possibly opening that door for that. So let's see what heel Coldlander does, if that's the case. But in the meantime, we got to see what Cody say in Toronto. But I did think that segment was very, very interesting yesterday. It was good for storytelling, kind of like what The Rock said in the post-conference. He was like, it's not always have to lead up to a match. It can be something, you know, leading up for the story. It's just that, bro, don't get out there and start rambling and shit for 15, 20 minutes, taking everybody's segments. I think 2 segments got taken yesterday, only for The Rock to be up there rambling and repeating himself for about 5-10 minutes. That's a whole segment itself. I think it only needed 1. But let's see what they got going into Elimination Chamber. Let's see what happens. Lastly, of course, if you didn't see, one thing I got kind of, what Rock also did yesterday is, the first thing he did rather, when he came out, is he announced that WWE was going to have WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans next year. Now, as someone who's been watching wrestling, like I said, damn near my entire life, I realized that New Orleans has had WrestleMania like fucking 3 times in the last 12 years. Why? Why they keep getting why they keep going to New Orleans? Nothing against New Orleans. I've visited New Orleans plenty of times and it's always been fun there when I go there and shit. However, When y'all gonna bring that bitch to Detroit, bro? I want WrestleMania in Detroit before the end of this decade. On some real shit. And I'm gonna advocate for that shit on this channel and going forward. I want WrestleMania in Detroit before 2030. That's what the fuck I want. We finna get the All-Star game here. We just had the NFL draft, which brought out 775,000 plus people. The All-Star game's front runner for Detroit in 2027 or 2028. WWE, stop bullshitting and come holler at our people here in the city. We want WrestleMania here before 2030. Can we get that shit to happen? Because y'all have been in New Orleans 3 times. Y'all done did, I mean, we had SummerSlam here in 2022? 2022 SummerSlam was here at Ford Field. That shit was lit as fuck. Now, I need WrestleMania coming to this motherfucker. 2 days. All right? Come here and bring that new WrestleMania template here to Detroit and get all that money with us. Come get that money with us. Because not only are you going to draw in people from Detroit, you got Canada, you got Toronto, which is 4 hours away. You got Chicago, which is 3-4 hours away. People going to come in. You got Philly, 3-4 hours away. People can come in. You got Pittsburgh, 3-4 hours away. People can come in. Cleveland, 3-4 hours away, people can come in. Indy, 6 hours away, people can drive in. People gonna fly in from all over the world to come to Detroit, just as they did for the NFL draft for WrestleMania. I promise you. Like, you put Motor City Machine Guns, put them on the damn card with tag team belts around that time. I guarantee you had that shit popping. So that's what I'm doing. I want WrestleMania for Detroit before 2030. Otherwise, I'm gonna whoop somebody's ass in WWE. Tell them I said it. I'll even be in a match. I don't give a fuck. Put that shit in Detroit, bro. Like, I'm like, nothing against New Orleans, but damn, y'all got 3 in the last 12 years. We ain't had a WrestleMania here since like 2007, 2008 type shit. Like almost 20 years. And we was the first one in the Silver Dome with the 90,000 plus people. We was the first one with the big attendance records and shit. Bring that shit back home, bro. Stop playing. But in the meantime, I'll holler at you soon. That's all I gotta say today. I'm gonna end it on that note. Bring WrestleMania to Detroit before 2030. I'll see you later. Peace.